Here it is. Here's the practice puck of the Red Wings, my team.
It didn't work last night.
There has been some, heartaches in the Motor City this morning because Detroit, which has been hit so hard by the economic downturn, the decline of the auto industry, but finally we had that ray of hope. The beloved hockey team, the Red Wings. We thought they were going to come back in the NHL championship. Everyone from Detroit had our fingers crossed that they would win the Stanley Cup, but it just wasn't meant to be.
This was not the moment us Red Wings fans were hoping for in the city and the need of recovery. Unemployment in Detroit is at 14%, the highest in the country. Then there's the housing collapse and the auto meltdown. Even number 24, Chris Chelios, one of the Red Wings star players, is suffering. Chelios owns a chain of restaurants in town, and business is hurting.
I was struggling like everybody else. There's a lot of people that are struggling and having a really tough time, breaking even or losing and possibly losing your business.
But this is Detroit, and in Detroit, sports is king. Here, the games for many is a welcome distraction from the pain.
It's one of the things we're willing to sacrifice for because it's worth it, because the kids will also remember this.
We take plenty of calls about the economy, about the housing market, about the big three. On a sports show, we take them all the time because it's what's on people's mind.
What's the reaction from so many people when they've lost their jobs, when they don't have the money they did before?
I walk in the building here, and one of the employees comes up to me and says, "Thanks for the extra paycheck." So, that pretty much says it all. I've never heard a guy say that in the 10 years I've been here.
But Friday night, for most Detroiters, we weren't thinking about bankruptcies or bailouts.
Let's go, Red Wings!
Sends it across for a shot! Only the team.
One thing that I focus on is encouraging people to find that one thing in their life, that one joy that they can focus on. It's not going to solve their problems, but it gives them that distraction, the thing to look forward to.
Sports has always had a long-standing tradition in Detroit. The Pistons have been to the top, as have our first-place Tigers. Even our beloved Lions, who didn't win a single game last season, 0-16, is important not only to the fans, but to the economic salvation of the city.
When I read the paper or when I watch TV and I watch the performance of some of these unbelievable athletes, it does take your mind off the negative things.
Really helps.
Mayor David Bing himself is a symbol of the city's struggle, replacing his disgraced predecessor.
I want to make a public apology to my wife, Carlita,
who was caught up in a sex scandal and cost the city millions. But last night, Detroit was all about hockey. The remaining seconds ticked off the clock, handing us a 2-1 loss. In this final game of the Stanley Cup Championships, there was still victory in defeat.
Just keep your chin up, and hopefully things will turn around within the state.
It's all about how you bounce back and just put yourself in a position where, I'm not going to give up.